From the second the Leafs acquired Chris Tanev and then signed him to his multi-year deal, he's been their steadiest, most dependable blue liner. So missing him is going to hurt.
A quiet storm is forming around the Toronto Maple Leafs today. Fresh reports show new trade names, unexpected injury news, and rising pressure on key players. Inside the team, talks have started to speed up, and small moves may turn into something much bigger. Something important is moving toward the Leafs, and the next step may arrive without warning. The Toronto Maple Leafs are looking at roster changes. One name under focus is Chris Tanev. Reports say he is dealing with injury problems, and some discussions inside the team include the possibility of surgery. This development has added new energy to trade rumors. If surgery becomes needed, the team may have to act quickly to replace minutes on defense. The team's goalie situation is also a major part of these talks. Both Joseph Woll and Anthony Stolarz are on injured reserve. These injuries leave rookies and younger goalies to carry the crease. Denis Hildeby and Artur Akhtiamov are the active goalies available right now. Because of this, many insiders expect the Maple Leafs to look for a short-term goaltending fix. One name that has come up is Laurent Brossoit. Reports say his contract and NHL experience make him a possible target for the team. With two injured goalies, the Leafs may need someone who can step in and help right away. This is part of why trade pressure has grown inside the front office. The situation on defense is also part of the story. With Chris Tanev's injury and the talk around surgery, the Maple Leafs may have to adjust the blue line. Analysts have suggested the team could trade a depth defenseman or look for a veteran defender before the next phase of the season. Some of these moves could protect the team from losing stability on the back end. Inside the organization, reports show that the Leafs have divided players into groups. The groups include core players who are not expected to be traded, protected depth players, and players who could be moved if the right deal appears. This breakdown helps the team manage cap space and prepare for decisions as the trade deadline moves closer. Another name appearing in reports is Matias Maccelli. Some rumors say management may consider moving him if an upgrade becomes available. In one set of reports, a possible swap involving former Maple Leafs forward Michael Bunting was mentioned. No official offer has been confirmed, but the idea is gaining attention inside trade discussion circles. The reason behind a possible Bunting for Maccelli type move is simple. Bunting has NHL experience and past scoring success with Toronto. He has played on top lines before and has worked well in fast offensive systems. Maccelli, on the other hand, has not secured a full-time spot in the lineup and has been a healthy scratch. Some discussions suggest a roster reset could help both sides. The timing of these rumors is important. Injuries across the team have created pressure. With two goalies on injured reserve and the blue line dealing with questions about Tanev, the Maple Leafs may have to move sooner rather than later. Some analysts think Brad Treliving may use the next few games to test depth, evaluate trade value, and measure what the team needs most. More reports have also said that other NHL teams are watching the Leafs closely. One report said the Pittsburgh Penguins have interest in a veteran Maple Leafs defenseman. This could speed up talks if the Leafs decide they need to adjust the defense quickly because of Tanev's condition. This outside interest adds another layer to the situation. If the Penguins are serious about adding a veteran defenseman from Toronto, it could open more space for the Leafs to bring in a new defender or a new forward. This type of trade could also help Toronto clear salary or create a roster slot for another move. Younger players and prospects are also paying attention. If the Maple Leafs trade away veteran players or depth pieces, roster spots could open. This could give young forwards more ice time and a chance to show what they can do. It might also push the Leafs to review which young skaters are closest to stepping into a full-time role. Denis Hildeby's recent play has also added new information to this story. As he and Artur Akhtiamov carry the workload, the Leafs get a closer look at their future in goal. If one of the young goalies shows they can handle more games, it could influence whether the team makes a trade for someone like Brossoit. If not, the pressure to make a move will continue. Inside the front office, Brad Treliving is now facing many decisions at the same time. The injuries, the trade interest from other clubs, the possible surgery for Tanev, and the need for goalie help all appear in reports from the past day. Each part of this story connects to the others. If one part changes, the entire trade plan may shift. This situation also affects the lineup each game. If Tanev is out, the defense has to be adjusted. If no goalie is added soon, the rookies will continue to play important minutes. If a forward is moved, someone else must step in. This is why each report points to the same idea. The Leafs may be preparing for roster changes. The trade deadline is getting closer, and every game gives the front office more information. Each new report in the last 24 hours adds more to the story. The pressure from injuries, the talk around Tanev and surgery, the goalie concerns, the young players waiting for ice time, the interest from Pittsburgh, the discussions around Bunting and McKelly. All of these updates show a team preparing for a possible major move.
The difficulty of this business is sometimes really good people and people that are good at their job have to be changed.
Something serious is happening inside the Toronto Maple Leafs right now. A new report shows Craig Berube may be on the edge of losing his job. The move is already spreading through the hockey world. The pace of this story is rising fast, and the next move could change everything for Toronto. Craig Berube became the Maple Leafs head coach on May 17, 2024. He took the job after the team moved on from Sheldon Keefe. His hiring was described as a shift toward stronger play and more structure. Before joining Toronto, Berube coached the St. Louis Blues. He won the Stanley Cup with them in 2019. He built a coaching record of 281 wins, 190 losses, and 72 overtime losses. But now the calm around that hiring has been replaced by sudden uncertainty. New reports say the Maple Leafs front office is considering a change. These reports state that management is reviewing options to replace Berube. These reports appeared as team results raised concerns this season. The talk did not slow after that win. Instead, the interest in a coaching change became stronger. Team performance over several weeks had not matched expectations for the roster. These expectations were high because the Leafs hired Berube to bring structure, pressure, and more direct play. A former Maple Leafs defenseman had also made strong comments about the team during a difficult stretch. He said the players were so mentally weak after several losses. That comment added more pressure on the team and the coaching staff. The statement spread across news circles and added weight to the idea that leadership changes might occur. When Berube arrived in 2024, Toronto's management said they needed a new voice. His plan was to raise the team's pace and intensity. He wanted the players to push harder on both offense and defense. He also wanted stronger habits in daily work and game planning. These changes were meant to shift the team into a more consistent style. But recent results have not matched the organization's goals. Analysts say Toronto expected stronger outcomes by this point in the season. This gap between expectations and results is a major reason the coaching change rumor has gained strength. Some insiders believe management is now at a point where waiting longer may no longer be an option. Right now, Craig Berube is still the active head coach. No official message has been released by the Maple Leafs. The team has not given any public notice about a final decision. Without a statement, reports remain focused on internal discussions. These discussions are enough to create major interest around the league. If a new coach is brought in, the Maple Leafs may change their lineup style. A new coach could adjust game systems. Player roles could shift. Team communication could change. Locker room energy could look different. All of these shifts can affect how the team performs in the second half of the season. The Maple Leafs wanted strong improvement this year. They wanted deeper results than in past seasons. The team's earlier playoff exits put even more weight on decisions this year. This pressure on the organization is one reason coaching choices are now under close review. Craig Berube's history shows he has led teams through difficult seasons. His time with the St. Louis Blues included a major turnaround. He led that team to the Stanley Cup after they were in last place early in the season. His strong record was one reason Toronto selected him for the job in 2024. The Maple Leafs wanted the same type of strong push. As Toronto looks at its its next steps, Craig Berube stands at the center of one of the biggest NHL storylines this week. His past achievements, his strong record, and his time with the Maple Leafs are now part of a larger decision. The names being discussed as replacements show how seriously the team is reviewing its options. The Leafs are working through this decision while under heavy pressure to win. The team has a talented roster. They have major star players. They have strong scoring ability and speed. But results so far have not matched the goals set at the start of the season. This is why the future of the coaching staff has become the focus of attention. Each new report adds more interest. Each game adds more weight. Each insider update adds more pressure. The team's next choice will affect how they play, how they prepare, and how they move forward this year. Craig Berube remains behind the bench as these discussions continue. The Leafs have not made any final public decision. Many people expect more updates soon. The story continues to develop.
And I think last night is the kind of accumulation of a lot of different things, and last night's a great warning to the group what happens when you're not ready to roll.
Something just shook the Edmonton Oilers locker room. After a crushing 9-1 loss, Connor McDavid stood up and called out his own team. He didn't dodge, he didn't sugarcoat. He said the Oilers were flat, no energy, no emotion. Coming from the captain, that means something. What he said next set the tone for the rest of the season. The Edmonton Oilers are under pressure. They've played 16 games this season, and their record stands at 6 wins, 6 losses, and 4 overtime losses. That's not what fans or the team expected. And after getting blown out 9-1 by the Colorado Avalanche, something had to be said. Connor McDavid said it.
Early on, obviously, we found an issue to bring some of that emotion, some of that energy to the game. That's not fighting. That's not anything. It's just bringing that energy, skating, a little bit more physical.
In his post-game comments, McDavid told reporters, "It's been flat. That starts with me as a leader. There's maybe not been enough energy, not enough emotion, and we have to find a way to bring some of that into the game." This wasn't just about one game. McDavid spoke about the team's attitude over several games. He said, "We all have a hand in bringing just a little bit more, emotionally, physically, and just to our game as a whole." McDavid has 22 points this season, 5 goals, and 17 assists, but he's also -6 at even strength. That shows even the best players on the team are getting outscored when they're on the ice. The loss to Colorado was Edmonton's worst home defeat since 2009. The Avalanche scored goal after goal, and the Oilers didn't have an answer. The team was down 4-0 after the first period, and it only got worse from there. This wasn't just a bad night. It was a wake-up call. The Oilers were supposed to be Cup contenders again. They reached the Stanley Cup final 2 seasons in a row, but right now, their play doesn't match that level. Over the last 10 games, their record is 4 wins, 3 losses, and 3 overtime losses. That's not terrible, but it's not what a contending team expects. Now, with McDavid calling for more effort and emotion, the whole organization is on alert. The message is clear. Things have to change now. McDavid's message wasn't just frustration, it was a warning, and it wasn't only for the players, it reached the coaching staff and front office too. When a captain speaks like this after a blowout loss, it signals a bigger problem inside the team. Coach Chris Tanev now faces pressure to respond. Line changes, goalie decisions, and defensive structure are all under review. The Oilers can't afford to let this slide. Their next games are critical. McDavid said, "We have to find a way to bring more." That starts immediately. McDavid's call for emotion matters. Hockey isn't just about skill. It's about fight. The Oilers haven't shown enough of it. They've looked flat, not just in one game, but over several. That's why his comments hit so hard. This also affects the fans. The Oilers have one of the most passionate fan bases in the NHL. A 9-1 home loss sting. And when your best player says the team isn't bringing enough, fans expect action. Behind the scenes, the organization must decide how to fix this. Trades, call-ups, system changes, it's not clear yet. But McDavid just put everyone on notice. He didn't blame others. He included himself, but he didn't stay quiet. His leadership now demands results. Not someday, but now. Edmonton's next games will say a lot. If they come out with speed, energy, and purpose, this could be the turning point. If not, bigger changes could follow. For now, one fact stands out. The Oilers captain just spoke louder than ever, and now the entire hockey world is watching how they answer.
Against our standards, and I thought we played I thought we played with some pretty high standards today, you know, and again, saying that, it doesn't guarantee a victory. It doesn't mean it's perfect, but I felt our intentions were there. We were organized in our 5-on-5 play, and you know, it was a good game. You know, I thought we stayed patient. It's unfortunate we don't get the 2 point, but a lot of positive.
Martin St. Louis made a shocking announcement to the Montreal Canadiens on November 8, 2025. The goaltending controversy exploded 24 hours earlier when Jakub Dobes cried after losing. His veteran Samuel Montembeault ranked second worst in the NHL statistically. St. Louis canceled practice immediately. He called Dobes into his office. The decision he revealed would alter everything. Dobes stopped 24 of 28 shots in the 4-3 overtime defeat. His record dropped to 6-0-1. The loss came when Jesper Bratt scored 93 seconds into overtime with a backhand shot through the 5-hole. Dobes took full responsibility for the team's first overtime loss of the season. "We played good enough to win, just not good enough from my side," Dobes told reporters after the game. "I don't know, just really hard. This is a tough one. Just sucks. It happened last year. It happened this year. Lose to those guys in OT. So just disappointed in myself. That's pretty much it." The emotional display shocked media members present. NHL.com reporter Mike Morial witnessed the scene firsthand. "Don't know if I've ever seen this before, but MTL rookie goalie Jakub Dobes, who entered this game 6-0-0, was literally in tears, blaming himself for the Canadiens' loss." Morial posted on social media. "We, the media, tried to console him, telling him to keep his head up. Kid is putting so much pressure on himself." Martin St. Louis addressed the situation during his press conference. "Everybody handles situations differently, and he took it hard," St. Louis said. "It's probably a big reason why he's at this level. He's probably demanding of himself. We'll talk to Dobes. He's played really well for us." Teammates rushed to defend their goaltender. Defenseman Noah Dobson spoke with reporters after the game. Dobson said, "But it just shows the character and passion in this room. Everyone holds themselves to a high standard and wants to do what they can to help the team win. But we know in the room he's been a backbone for us this year, so there's no need for him to do that and put it on himself." This situation placed St. Louis in a difficult position regarding his goaltending rotation. Samuel Montembeault, the presumed starting goaltender, has struggled severely this season. The 28-year-old carries a 2-3 record with a 3.82 goals against average and .842 save percentage through 5 games. St. Louis maintained confidence in his struggling veteran. "If you ask me if I'm worried, no, I'm not worried," St. Louis said. The coach continued defending Montembeault's abilities. "I didn't have a single idea in mind. We have 2 good goaltenders," St. Louis added. "Dobes is definitely having a good streak, but Monty is going to have streaks like that too. We're well equipped in front of the net." Dobes maintains elite statistics despite his first loss. He ranks 3rd in the NHL with a 2.25 goals against average. His .920 save percentage places him 4th among all goaltenders. The Czech netminder has started 6 of Montreal's last 8 games. Montembeault acknowledged his struggles publicly. "I know what I can do, and I've worked a lot the last 4 years to grow my game," Montembeault said. "Obviously not the best start so far, but we're going to keep working to get to where we were at." The goaltender revealed technical adjustments he's making. "I felt like during games I was shrinking a lot when guys were shooting or when I was trying to find pucks through screen," Montembeault explained. "I actually looked at myself in the glass the last practice, putting my blocker and my glove more outside and try to be more patient." Montreal sits first in the Atlantic Division with a 9-3-2 record. The Canadiens host the Utah Mammoth on November 8. St. Louis must choose between the emotional rookie seeking redemption and the veteran fighting to regain his form.
Do we get it perfect?